Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. As I mentioned yesterday, we're moving to a schedule for Instant Deck Tech, so Modern Mondays, and then I wanted to call this Type 2 Tuesdays, but since no one knows what Type 2 means anymore, Standard Tuesdays. Type 2 was old slang for Standard. Aside from set releases and other special events, expect to have a Standard Deck Tech every Tuesday moving forward, and we have a super sweet one today. This is a different take on Aetherflux Reservoir, brought to us by Aaron Newborn, who took it to a top 8 finish at SCG Regionals in San Diego. So congrats to Aaron on their finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break it all down, if you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So we played Aetherflux Reservoir in a Storm combo build the other day, and this is a extremely different take on the deck. This isn't so much a combo deck as a kind of value-y control deck with a pseudo combo finish. So Aetherflux, 4-mana artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain a life for each spell you've cast this turn. Then if you get to 50 life, you can pay 50 to deal 50 to a creature or player. So basically, if you get above 50 life, you kill your opponent. You don't usually use this to hit creatures. So this is kind of the finisher of the deck, but the way the deck gets to the 50 life is much different than our Storm deck. So you're playing a bunch of creatures, kind of a blue-white mid-range value-y thing with Thraben Inspectors, 1-drops make a clue, chump blocks, Reflector Mage slows down the opponent, Cloud Blazer gains some incidental life, draws you some cards, helps you find your Aetherflux, and then Torrential Gearhulk. We'll talk more about Torrential Gearhulk later. Torrential Gearhulk is kind of the finisher. It does a ton of things in the deck, and it also provides the combo finish in a really unique way. So pretty much, these cards help you stall out. They provide value. In some cases, they gain a bit of life, which is helpful with Aetherflux, because remember, you're not going for the one big turn where you cast 9 spells. You're kind of gaining a couple life here, a couple life there, hopefully working your way up to 50, while also disrupting the opponent with stuff like Reflector Mage. So then, one of the coolest parts of this deck is 4 Engulf the Shore, which works like a fog to keep you from taking damage, to keep your life total high. But remember the creatures we were just talking about. Reflector Mage, Thraben Inspector, Cloud Blazer, Torrential Gearhulk, all those creatures have activated abilities, so you bounce your creatures back to your hand, and then you get to reuse those abilities. Make another clue token, draw some more cards, bounce another creature. So it kind of does two things in the deck. It helps you by letting you reuse all your creatures enter the battlefield abilities, while also slowing down the opponent by making them replay all their creatures. As far as the rest of the spells, we get a bunch of things that provide effects and incidental life gain. Fumigate, a Wrath, gains you life. Blessed Alliance, a removal spell, gains you life. Authority of the Consuls slows down hasty creatures like Fleet Wheel Cruiser and things like that. Plus, whenever your opponent has a creature enter the battlefield, it gains you life. Also a combo with Engulf the Shore. You bounce all your opponent's creatures, they have to replay them, so you're gaining another life from Authority. As far as the blue spells, we get Glimmers and Anticipates to cycle through the deck, and these can kind of combo a bit with Aetherflux Reservoir. On the end of turn, you can go like Anticipate, find another Anticipate, cast an Anticipate, cast a Glimmer. You get a little chunk of life there, helps you get towards 50, and just a single Grip of the Royal to help slow down the opponent. And of course, these are all instants, so you can flash them back with your Torrential Gearhulk to get even more value. The coolest card, and kind of the combo piece of this deck, is Essence Flux, and bear with me. So Essence Flux, you get to blink all your enter the battlefield creatures, Thraben Inspector for another clue, Reflector Mage to bounce another creature, Cloud Blazer. So in the early game, this is kind of what you're doing, just bouncing stuff. But then in the late game, Essence Flux is kind of the combo finish with Torrential Gearhulk. If you can get a bunch of Essence Flux in your graveyard, what you can do is cast a Torrential Gearhulk and target the Essence Flux with Torrential Gearhulk. So you cast the Essence Flux from your graveyard, so that would be the second spell you cast. You blink the Torrential Gearhulk, targeting another Essence Flux in your graveyard, so it's another spell cast. Then you blink your Torrential Gearhulk, target the next Essence Flux. So essentially you can cast as many Essence Flux as you have in your graveyard with a single Torrential Gearhulk, which can get you 3, 4, 5 spells in one turn, which can often, with the incidental life gain and slowing your opponent down, get you up to that 50 life you need with your Aetherflux Reservoir to win the game. So that's kind of the combo finish of the deck. It's obviously not the same as Storming Off, but it kind of can have a similar effect. As far as the mana base, pretty straightforward. Dual lands, basic lands, and a Gaia Reach Sanitarium. In the sideboard, we get the Thalia's Lancers to search up the meld combo of Bruna and Gisela combo. We also get a bunch more removal, Fragmentize for vehicles and other artifacts. Blessed Alliance, gain some more life, makes your opponent sack something, and then turn aside to protect your Aetherflux Reservoir from Fragmentize, and a bunch of counter spells, Horribly Arise, Negates, and Summary Dismissals. So that is Blue-White Aetherflux for Standard, and that's been our Instant Deck for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.